Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 76 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I am having a good old time playing with blood magic still. I've made a little minor change to the machine inventory manager here from Steve's Factory Manager, and it has to do with automatically filling empty sockets. Boom, you'll notice as soon as an empty socket goes into the chest, it's going to prioritize filling those guys up with all the life essence that we need. And if we take a look here, we'll see that it quickly fills them up. And of course, all the automation that we set up between the last couple episodes is still there. So I've just kind of added this in so you can see that thing finished. It pulled it out. Now what it's going to do is wait until about 25 buckets worth or so before it'll try and make the next socket. So how did I do this? Well, the first thing, remember, we checked was if we have all the items we need. And if we do not, then it goes ahead and gets them. If we do have all the items that we're looking for, the blank slates and the demonic slates and the imbued slates, etc., before it was just going to move the orb from the chest back to the altar, but now I intersected that with a little group here called sockets. And if we look inside the command group, we'll see that we used a node. One of the first things we check is the chest, and we ask if there are any empty sockets inside. And if there are, it checks the amount of liquid in there, it pulls the orb out and puts it in the chest, it puts the empty socket into the blood altar, and then it moves in and exits the node. Cool? So you can see there, we've basically just added that little functionality there, and it should do a pretty good job. Oh, there we go. Just moved the next one over. We probably just hit about the 25k point for LP. Nice. Now our life essence drum is doing pretty good. We've got about 1,000,000 millibuckets, aka 1,200 or so buckets worth of life essence. So that's pretty cool. I've been kind of sitting here doing a little bit of work with things and getting stuff going. There we go. Nice. So we just got a couple more filled sockets. So let's go outside and use them for something cool. That's right, I didn't have a pressure plate on that door. So let's go ahead and make some more armor. So we're going to probably want to break this thing, and I'm going to go ahead and get my filled sockets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So that, I believe, to be the pattern for the armor. Cool. Let me consider what I might want to put on there as an upgrade, though. So I'm going to go ahead and craft a void sigil. This is a pretty nice item. We'll take a look here and see that if you're just using it in the world, what does it do? Well, it's going to destroy any liquid source block. So any source block can be destroyed. I'm using it on water here, obviously. It's going to use a very small amount of LP to do that. You can use it on any liquid, like, you know, poison or lava or pretty much anything that's a liquid from any mod. As long as it's registered as a liquid in Forge, you can destroy that liquid. But I'm going to instead go ahead and drop it into my armor, because it's going to give me something very cool and powerful, something that I don't think too many other mods do. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a weak blood shard, and we're going to want that sigil. There we go. So we will insert this guy here, we'll put the void sigil here, and then nice. So remember, you're going to want to go ahead and right-click to bind it to yourself. Did I ever do that with the helmet? No, I probably didn't. So you guys probably yelled at me that I forgot to do that. But always right-click your helmets and your bound armor to yourself. Make sure that it says current owner and your name. So I'm going to go ahead and, by the way, when you right-click, it should also equip it. If it's not bound to you, it's not going to give you all the awesome effects that you're going to want, like the ability to protect you from massive amounts of damage. So the void sigil is cool. It upgrades your armor to prevent void damage. Nice. That's the damage that you take when you fall into the void. So, you know, pretty cool. Also, it looks awesome. Haha, nice. Look at that, man. That is cool looking. So the next sigil I'm going to bind here is one that I kind of already have. It's the divination sigil. We're familiar with this guy. But I'm going to go ahead and bind it for a very cool purpose. And you'll see what that is in a moment. Let's get ourselves another one of those weak shards. And we'll put this guy in here. So we'll put that in there, we'll put this guy in here, and go. Nice. Remember, right-click to bind it to yourself, and that automatically grants us night vision at all times. Cool. Now, I actually hesitated on giving this to myself, because I'm not sure that I want night vision at all times. There is an item we can craft, though, to disable this. But before we get to it, I want to get a full suit of this armor, so I just need boots, which means I need, what do we need? 4 more? So let's get 4 empty sockets. 1, 2, 3, 4. teleport ourselves directly over here. By the way, if I wanted to automate the creation of blood sockets, I could just set it so that AE dumps the blood socket in here and, you know, whatever, right? But that should be fine. Oh, how are you doing? Working on making something for me? That is cool. You're making what? I don't know what you're making. Come here, you. I'll just take that out. There we go. Now it should work its way towards getting me some empty sockets. Cool. What I'm thinking here is that I'll get the boots, but there's that item I want to make that can disable the abilities of the armor. Let's get it. So all I got to craft is an armor inhibitor. There it is. Right click it. Ta-da! And it will turn red. And you'll notice that all of a sudden, inhibit is applied here and night vision is not. So if I want to, I can disable that. Now that does need to be in your inventory at all times if you want to keep armor inhibited. So if I put this away, for example, you'll see inhibit has gone away and night vision remains. But if I take the armor inhibitor out, it's going to be there. So the armor inhibitor, it doesn't need to be on your hotbar, but it does need to be in your inventory if you want to inhibit your armor's ability. And that will do, I think it'll do it to all things. So if we were to, for example, come over here, we can still see that stuff. So it doesn't inhibit your sanguine helmet. It probably inhibits the void sigil, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And, you know, there might be a few other things that it can inhibit. So what I'm thinking then is if I decide that, you know, the night vision is less than beneficial for me if I don't want it, because it also unfortunately gives you those particle effects, I think. Maybe not, maybe they went away. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it's just when it first applied it gave you the particle effect. That would be cool. I wouldn't mind that so much. But I'm going to throw that into my blue ender pouch for now. The armor inhibitor can hang out. And let's go see what's going on over here. Oh, nope. See, I do have some of the blue particle effects. That's okay. We'll keep an eye on it, and if, like I said, if it starts to bother me, maybe I'll show you guys the unbinding ritual so that we can remove it. I was a little hesitant to add it, like I said, but we'll see. So far we've got one filled socket, and you can see it's just doing its nice job of automating. And we can see here our sigil looking good. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to summon a demon. Alright guys, before we go ahead and do the summoning of demons, I just wanted to get myself the last pair of boots. Right click to bind them to yourself. Don't forget, important step, current owner Direwolf 20, current owner Direwolf 20, current owner Direwolf 20, current owner, okay, cool. So I am the current owner of all my armor. Now, if we did want to split this back up into its component parts, there is a way to uncraft it. But like I said, we might look at that if the night vision thing starts to get annoying for me, because it might. There we go, I turned it off, and I've got a little bit of particle effects going on, so we'll see. Let's summon a demon. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. For this, we're going to need quite a few things, so let's get ready to automate as much of that as possible. So the first thing we're going to need are some arcane pedestals. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those, okay? How are we on shards, by the way? We're doing pretty good. And then arcane plinth, we're going to need 1. For this, we're going to need 6 blocks of iron, so boom, 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 boom. Arcane plinth, go and go. Nice. So we've got the arcane pedestal and the arcane plinth. These are the basics of what you'll need to summon a demon. We're probably going to want to do this not terribly close to our base, so let's go find a nice spot that we can call Demon Summoning Land. Cool. Oh, hey, this looks like a good spot to summon a demon because it's where I did other things that were terrible and scary. I like that. So let's get ourselves clear up this area a little bit because I like to have it kind of nice and neat. I wouldn't mind flattening the terrain a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe I'll grab my horn out of here. There we go. And let's lay out the plinth how we need. So this guy goes in the middle, and then this always tricks me up because it's always a little bit funny looking when you try and do this. But your pedestal positions basically need to be x plus 1. So if we're standing here, we'll want to go plus 1 from the x position. So let's see, that's this way. And then z minus 2. So z... So plus 1 minus 2, so there, cool. And there, and I believe that's correct, right? And then there'll eventually be a x plus 2 and an x minus 2. And then we'll want a x minus 1, so that's this way, and a z plus 2, so here and here. That should be the pattern that we need. For some reason I always have trouble with that, but that should be it. So once we have all the resources we need to summon a demon, we're going to use that plinth to do so. Now let's talk about getting those resources to summon a demon. And for this, we're going to need to do a little blood magic alchemy. Let's get started, and I think I'm going to configure this in that tower upstairs because I told you that's what I'm pretty much going to be using this for. So let's get the alchemy stuff going. An orb, a brewing stand, and some obsidian will get us an alchemic chemistry set. Cool. Let's bring this upstairs into our blood magic area and decide how I want to do this. Oh, that's right. I left this tower here from when I was considering how I'm going to make a roof, and I still haven't figured out how I'm going to make a roof, so to-do list, figure out a roof of some kind. I wanted to do like a cool spiral roof, but that's hard. I guess what I'll do, let's see, I'm going to place this over here for now. Let's put it like right there-ish. That sound cool? So the alchemic chemistry set is pretty neat. You go ahead and place an orb. I'm going to get a new master blood orb for this. So that's 40,000 LP for a weak blood shard to handle. And I'm going to get a master blood orb specifically for this purpose. So let's go downstairs to our blood magic area. And we're going to snag from here another one of those shards. We're not getting too low on those, but remember you can craft them pretty easily now that we've got a whole bunch of automated stuff. I'm going to snag this out of here, put this in, and we should see a pretty quick progress. Cool. That's what I was looking for. So it needs 40,000 LP. Shouldn't be too bad to get. Might need to drain some LP from the tank that we have, but it should finish relatively quickly. We'll wait for it and come back. That goes in the bottom slot, and then on the sides, we're going to need to put some items. Hey, there it is. Snag that, put the Magician's Blood Orb back, right-click it to make sure it's bound to myself, and now it'll use my soul network to do all the alchemy infusions. So one of the first things we're going to want to get, there's a bunch of different things. Let's look up blood magic, and you'll be able to see a lot of the cool alchemy ingredients we can get here. Let's see. They're around here somewhere. So here's a bunch of them, for example. Let's see. So Incendium, Magicalis, Sanctus, Crepitus, Crystallis. These are all different things that we're going to need for some of the advanced stuff in blood magic. And most of them are probably going to require a simple catalyst. Some of them will require something even more complex than a simple catalyst, but we'll get to that later. For now, simple catalyst is mostly going to be what we're looking to get. So simple catalyst, we're going to want to have a good handful of. And to make that, we're going to need some redstone, sugar, glowstone, and gunpowder. Luckily, a lot of that is not hard to come by in our system. If we take a look, we should have a good amount of gunpowder at this point. Oh yeah, nice. Glowstone's not really renewable, but we've got a good amount of it, and you know, I can always just head to the nether to get more. And redstone we should have no problem with either. Yeah, we've got about 514. Maybe I should have my mining system go run for a little bit. Cycle times 40, please. Nice. Refresh coordinates. He's all the way up at 2076 by 71. Cool. I like it. So now that we've got this ready, let's go ahead and see how it works. So I'm going to get a piece of sugar. I'll actually snag a bunch of this. Redstone, glowstone, and gunpowder. Cool. So you place these guys in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one actually won't roll, so don't shift click it. But once you've got the pattern appropriate, it's going to go ahead and bubble a little bit, and it'll create for me some simple catalyst. Nice. Now if I were to do something like this, we should get a bunch of simple catalyst. Cool. So I'll come back when that's complete, and then we're going to look at automating this, and then we're going to look at getting a bunch of the stuff that we need. All right, guys, now let's talk about automating this. So we're going to want a decent amount of simple catalysts pretty much all the time. So I've come up with a neat way that I think should be a lot of fun to automate. So first we're going to want to do the Ballad of Alchemy. Now you guys have seen me do this with Steve's Factory Manager in the past. I'm going to try and do this a little bit different this time around. We'll see if I can do it without Steve's Factory Manager, because I like to change things up and do things a little differently. So we're going to go ahead and hit this guy with the Ballad of Alchemy. Yes, you should have some ritual stones on you. So you can't place. Did I do something wrong here? So apparently with the new version of Blood Magic, my Ritual Diviner couldn't place Dusk Runes, but now it can because I just cheated myself a new version because that was a bug. So let's see, 1, 2, 3 blocks away. This thing should then work. So let's go ahead and get this guy back to Ballad of Alchemy. And make sure to right click so that's bound to me. Cool. Now we're talking. Hey, look at that. It kind of fits pretty well. Nice. So we've got the Ballad of Alchemy. How does it work? I'm glad you asked. One of the things we're going to need is another one of those blood altars. So let's get one. Really easy to make. Just need a furnace. And I might want to get a Blood Magic 2 teleport or something going around here. But basically what you do is you place your alchemic catalyzer chemistry set thingy right here on the front. And you place a Master Ritual Stone on the top. And then you're going to want some chests. For now, we're going to use chests. Soon, we're going to use not chests. 1, 2, and 3. Go away, you. Okay. Now, ingredients go on the side. So let's get ourselves, again, some sugar. We'll get like, half a stack of you. Boom. And while we're at it, we'll also get half a stack of redstone, glowstone, and gunpowder. Okay. And then what we want to do, probably, would be something like this. Let's say we would want to place all this in the chests. Okay, and we will get a simple catalyst. And if we place that in the blood altar, we really only need to put one in there. Oh, and by the way, don't forget you're going to want to activate your ritual. So let's get our weak activation crystal here. Is it not in here? If it's not here, it's probably in the AE system. Where is my weak activation crystal? Is it by chance down in here somewhere? I don't know where it is. And it was in my inventory the whole time. Yep, feel free to yell. Let's think. How do I want to do this? I could probably hit it through here. Master Ritual Stone. Right, activated. Nice. Now this will use energy from your soul network, so keep that in mind. There's my divination sigil. We'll see that right now we're pretty much, we're actually doing all right. It probably used a bunch just to activate right now. But if we go ahead and throw a simple catalyst in there, boom, it's going to start automatically populating the redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, and sugar, creating the simple catalyst, and then pulling another set of ingredients. The output is always the back of the chest, and the input is always on the sides. Nice. So now that we've completed that, and by the way, we can go ahead and right-click this dude to disable the ritual, and what it'll do is it'll complete the crafting, but unfortunately it doesn't pull it out just yet, but that's okay. We'll manage that in a moment. So let's put this in here for now, and let's automate this. So here's something I've got in mind. All right, guys, so here's what I'm thinking. If I were to place one of these catalysts in here, it would start running again, right? But as you guys should know, most rituals can be deactivated with a simple redstone signal. So if I were to place a redstone signal there, then what we should have is a deactivated ritual. And if we look in the alchemic chemistry stat, nice, did it pull it out of there? That's cool. So if I activated it for just a second and then turned it off, it would run, pull the item out or no? It doesn't look like it does. That's okay though. I can deal with that. That's fine by me. It'll pull it out once the ritual is activated again, no matter how temporarily it is. So a steady redstone signal means ritual stops working. Perfect. So why do I need chests here? I don't. What I can do is put an ME interface up here. That would be cool, right? So instead of having these guys, let's get a couple ME interfaces. The biggest challenge with this build is getting an AE system applied up here. Let's do an ME interface times 2 for now. So, missing a couple logic processors. All right, super serious to-do list. Logic processors and keeping that type of thing auto-stocked. So let's just do, like, for now, the 2 that you need. Get this thing going. Boom. Boom. Swap it out. 1, 2. And we'll put all the gold in. My main problem is, where am I going to run this wiring so that it looks kind of good? Don't know. Gonna have to figure that out. What are you crafting? Oh, currently crafting a pure Certus quartz crystal. Fine, that's fine. There we go, got the 2. Alright, so we're definitely going to want to get into the blood magic area here, but how do we get ME cable up this wall? I'd really hate to have to run it all the way up the wall and, like, do covers. That would kind of be terrible. I kind of feel like that's my only option, unless I delve into something that I'm honestly not quite ready for, and that's wireless AE. Yeah, I don't have the power for that. I don't have anything that I'm going to need for that. I mean, I could... I might just have to run it all the way up here with covers and such. That would not be the end of the world, but it wouldn't be great either. Well, we've already got kind of the AE system running over here, right? So let's see. Where does the AE system come in over here? Right under the altar. Okay. So if I wanted to, let's grab some cables. And I mean, I'm really getting to the point where I should be rewiring the AE system anyway. But I could get my cable channels thing going over there and some such things. Ah, come here, cables. All right, AE system, you hang on to this stuff for a minute. So let's consider... All right, let me figure out how I'm going to run this, because I'd really rather not have, like, to put covers all the way up, but that's probably what I'm going to have to wind up doing. So I acknowledge that this is a giant mess of wiring, but it'll be all right, trust me. So what we could have then is the following. We could have the interface here. So let's do... Oh, wait, I already have it with me. But what I do also need is the P2P connector. So let's get one of these. Go. And we'll put the coal away. Probably don't need you at the moment. But we are going to need... Come on, P2P connector. Craft. Where's my blue pouch? We're going to need this guy. All right, you're taking a minute to craft. That's fine. We'll probably want him connected, thinking maybe at this angle. That might be a good spot for it. All right, why aren't you crafted yet? Currently crafting pure Flux crystals. All right, I'll be back when it's done. All right, so what if we put this guy here? We will do this, right? Am I doing this right? No, it needs to be the other way. So we'll put it here with the P2P tunnel coming out here. We'll load settings, this guy, then the interface can sit right here. And does this thing have a powered channel? I guess we'll find out in a minute, because I'm going to tell it to keep 2 redstone in there. Nice. Look at that. Cool. All right, so that's good. We're also going to want an interface over here. So we're definitely going to have to get a channel set for this thing. So this is where the output items will go. Cool. And that's where we're going to probably wind up throwing all the simple catalysts, right? So we'll drop those in, and they'll get sucked into the A system, and then we've got catalysts available. Nice. And then for the next part, we're going to want glowstone, gunpowder, and sugar. So glowstone, gunpowder, and remind me that I'm going to have to teach the AE system how to make sugar, because currently it doesn't know how to do that. But yeah, we're going to want to do glowstone, gunpowder, sugar. So I'll have to put a crafting upgrade on this thing so that it can auto-craft items. And that should be good. So watch this. If I were to release this lever, it should pull the items in as needed right here and automatically restock them here. Check that out. Cool? So it's going to keep it supplied, and then we should also see catalysts showing up in the AE system. Nice. So, what's the last step here? Anybody want to guess? Well, we don't want this running forever, and the AE system now has an auto-stocking mechanism, so we're probably going to want to do a level emitter, which I don't think I know how to auto-craft in the system yet, so let's do level emitter. Awesome. And we're going to pop right back to the blood magic area. I guess I could do it from up here and fly up. It doesn't really matter. But we're going to want to do a level emitter right here. Cabled there. And your job, Mr. Level Emitter, will be to keep a track of how many simple catalysts we have. So if we were to say simple catalysts, let's say 32 at all times, emit when levels are above or equal to the limit of 32. Cool, so it's no longer on. And as a result, we're auto-crafting simple catalysts. Nice. And if we keep an eye on this thing, we should wind up with, eventually, 32 simple catalysts. So we're at 29. I'm going to put this one away. That's 30. And 31. And as soon as we hit 32, the level emitter should trigger on. Ta-da! Which disables the ritual. Ta-da! Which means that we have a fully automated simple catalyst machine. Nice. So simple catalyst is one of those things we're going to need a lot of. So we might wind up having multiples of these. Now, something I wouldn't mind doing is making it so that I can easily insert and remove from this guy. But we're going to have to kind of see about that. Not 100% sure how feasible that will be at this juncture, but we'll figure it out. For now, let's get ourselves some covers and clean up this giant mess that we made so that at least it looks halfway decent from in here. So let's get some cable anchors and do what we need to do. I believe we just do this with some arcane stone blocks. Let's get like 20 or so of these. And we can get a bunch of these. We're definitely going to need a lot of them. That'll be enough for now. And if we need to get more in a minute, you know, obviously they're easy to craft. But luckily, we shouldn't have too much of a problem covering up this big old mess we made. See, I told you it wouldn't be terrible. Nice. And if we fly up here, is there anything visible? Yes, just this one. Nice, there we go, all cleaned up. So now we just put it on the walls out here, and we've got a really nice looking system that you pretty much can't see anywhere. And the whole AE cabling mess is well hidden. Major to-dos are to get that auto-crafting of gold stuff going, and all the other things, right? And then the other major to-do item, which I think will be important for us. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do 4 of these? That's awful. But that's what I get for being Derby Dyer and doing this on a corner. Why was I even thinking about doing this on a corner? Now I have to have twice as many cable anchor things, but that's okay. I will live. I'll come back once I've finished making these. Alright guys, for some reason, it's not rendering the same. So let's see, there's the purpled fantasy block and the purpled worn fantasy block. These are purpled worn fantasy blocks, right? It's very weird. I don't know why it looks a little different. You know what? It might be something with the purple worn fantasy blocks look when they're interacting with other things. I don't know. I'm a little confused now. It looks slightly different, but if I remove this, then yeah, interesting. So that's some kind of connected texture that it's got going on there. So I don't know what's up with that, but I'll see if I can maybe sort it out. If not, we might have to eventually upgrade this to a wireless AE system or just something so that it looks good. I mean, it's not terrible, but it definitely looks a little bit off. I think the purple worn fantasy blocks have something of a connected texture thing going on, and I guess it's just not being supported. So not the end of the world, but still a little bit ugly. But anyway, what we've got now is an automated way to continuously keep 32 simple catalysts available at all times. What I'm going to do is come back next episode and finish this. So we're going to have a bunch of other automations for this thing. I'm going to try and work on a system that I can continue to use this build, but instead of doing it like this, I'll try and swap out what's up here. It may not be doable, so we might need to have multiple of these ritual stones, but we'll see. For now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.